Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Noha Fahada binti Muhammad Nordin and my matric number is 2023-647574.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurhanis Hamimi binti Muhammad Hadri. My matric number is 2023-662058. We are students of Diploma Mathematical Science from class RCDCS1433E.
For the chapter 3, the title is Results and Probability. So I will go for the first question. A. The question is breakdown of the favorite music genres of chosen by the students in the RCDCS 1433E class. This table shows the favorite music genres of students in the RCDCS 1433E class. Pop music is the most popular genre with a total of 16 predicted favorites and a frequency of 19 actual preferences. Ballad music is predicted to have 5 favorites but only receive a frequency of 3, making it the least chosen. Lastly, R&B music has 9 predicted favorites with a frequency of 8, showing a close match between prediction and actual choices. Next, I will proceed with question B, which the question is, what is the experimental probability of a student from the class RCDCS 1433E choosing each of the following music genres, pop, ballad, and R&B? For the experimental probability, the likelihood of a student choosing pop is 19 out of 30. For ballad, it's 3 out of 30, and for R&B, it's 8 out of 30. For the question C, what is the theoretical probability of obtaining each of the genre music, pop, ballad, and R&B? Now, looking at the theoretical probability, pop is expected to be chosen 16 out of 30 times, ballad 5 out of 30 times, and R&B 9 out of 30 times.
Okay, now we continue with question D. The question asks, what is the difference between experimental probability of obtaining pop music and the theoretical probability of obtaining pop music? Write the answer as a percent rounded to the nearest whole percentage. Okay, to answer this question, first of all, we have to know the amount of experimental probability of obtaining pop music, which is we get before this, the amount is 19 over 30. And we have to know also the theoretical probability of obtaining pop music, which is we get from the responses from the other student, which is we get 60 over 30. And the question asks for difference, so we have to minus between experimental probability of obtaining pop music and the theoretical probability of obtaining pop music. So we have to do 90 over 30 minus with 60 over 30, and the answer we will get 1 over 10, and we have to convert to percent, and the answer is 10%. In this experiment, out of 30 students are asked to choose their preferred music genre. Out of 10% were choosing pop music over the theoretical probability. Okay, now we move to question E. The question asks, what is the difference between experimental probability of obtaining ballad music and the theoretical probability of obtaining ballad music? Write the answer as a percent rounded to the nearest whole percentage. Okay, based on what we look, the question is same like question D. So, first of all, we have to find the amount of experimental probability of obtaining ballad music, and we get the amount is 3 over 30. And after that, we have to find the theoretical probability of obtaining ballad music, which is we get from the responses, and we get the amount is 5/30. And the question asks for difference, so we have to minus experimental probability of obtaining ballad music with theoretical probability of obtaining ballad music, and we will do like 3/30 minus 5/30, and we will get this. The answer is negative 1/50, and we convert to percentage, we will get negative 6%. So in this experiment, out of 30 students are asked to choose their preferred music genre. Out of this, 6% of students did not choose ballad music, which is different from theoretical probability. For question F, the question asks what is the difference between experimental probability of obtaining R&B music and the theoretical probability of obtaining R&B music. Write the answer as a percent rounded to the nearest whole percentage. To answer this question, same as question D and E, we have to know the experimental probability of obtaining R&B music amount. So the amount of this experimental probability is 8/30. And we also have to know the theoretical probability of obtaining R&B music amount also. We know the amount is 9/30. So the question asks for difference, so we have to minus between experimental probability of obtaining R&B music and theoretical probability of obtaining R&B music. So we have to do like 8/30 minus 9/30, and the answer we will get negative 1/30. And we have to convert to percentage, and we will get negative 3%. So in this experiment, out of 30 students are asked to choose their preferred music genre. Out of this, 3% of the students did not choose R&B music, which is different from the theoretical probability.
So for the question G, the question is what is the experimental probability that the selected music genres are not pop? So to solve this, we need to minus the experimental probability of pop by 1. So the experimental probability of pop is 19/30, so we need to minus 1 minus 19/30, that we get 11/30, or equal to 36.67%. So for the interpretation, out of 30 students, there are 36.67% of students who are not picking pop as their favorite music genre. So next, we move on to the question H. The question is, what is the experimental probability that the selected music genres are not valid? So it also same with the previous question, that we need to minus the experimental probability of valid by 1. So we need to solve 1 minus 3/30. The result is 9/10, which is equal to 90%. So for the interpretation, out of 30 students, there are 90% of students who are not picking ballad as their favorite music genre. Next, we move on to the last question. What is the experimental probability that the selected music genres are not R&B? We need to minus the experimental probability of R&B by 1. So the experimental probability of R&B is 8/30. So we need to minus 1 we need to solve 1 minus 8 over 30, that we get 11 over 15, which is equals to 73.33%. So for the interpretation, out of 30 students, there are 73.33% of students who are not picking R&B as their favorite music genre. For the set question, we chose set 4. So I'm going to explain the first question, which is find the value of A. So in order to find A, we need to combine these two equations fz. So for the first equation is integrals 1 to 3, 3z square over 52 dz. And for the second one is integrals 3 to a z cubed over 272 dz, and equal both of them to 1. Next, we need to move the constant in front of the integrals. And then we integrate them. So it will become z cubed over 3 and z to the power of 4 equals to 4. And then we substitute the values of integrals, which is the first one is 1 to 3, and the second one is 3 to 8. And then after we substitute all the values of integrals, we need to simplify. And then after we simplify, we get that A equals to 5.
Now, we move to question 2. The question asks to compute E in bracket 2z plus 3 power of 2. So, there are 3 steps to solve this question. Step 1. We have to find Ez. To find Ez, we have to using formula Ez equal to integration of z times fz dz. There are 2 equations of fz. So, we have to plus 2 of equation of fz. That means we have to integrate from 1 to 3 and also 3 to 5. We continue with solve the integration and we will get the value of Ez is 3.273. Step 2. We have to find Ez square. To find Ez square, we have to use formula Ez square equal to integration of z square times fz dz. Then, same way to find Ez, there are 2 equations of fz. So, we have to plus the 2 of equation of fz. That means we have to integrate from 1 to 3 and 3 to 5. Then, we continue to solve the integration and we will get the value of Ez square is 11.92. And for the last step, we can already answer the question needed. So, we have to expand the value in bracket square and we get 4z square plus 12z plus 9, and we expand again and get 4ez square plus 12ez plus e9. Then we transfer the amount of z square and z and we calculate. Lastly, we will get the answer is 95.95C.
The last question, find the variance of random variable z. The formula for variance used is shown on the screen. So, 11.92 minus 3.273 square, and the answer we get is 1.207. And that's all from us. Thank you.